So Stan thought, let's do something that's more tailor-made for the British audience. Unfortunately, while it was a good idea, he was still American and operating out of New York. So he really had no idea whatsoever, except having a wife from Newcastle upon Tyne, what British kids would want. So he thought, if we've got Captain America from America, hey, wouldn't it be great to do Captain Britain? Stan being Stan, of course, he had to give him an alliterative name. You'd already got Bruce Banner, Reed Richards, lots of these alliterative names. So for Captain Britain, he decided to call him Brian Braddock. Great, why not? The fact that there was already a character in the Victor called Braddock VC, who had been running for years and was a Spitfire pilot, had nothing to do with it. He was going to have Brian Braddock. And so he launched Captain Britain, but he had an American artist and an American writer trying to do a comic for Britain. It was such an insult, it really was, that you'd have this guy who would be jumping all over London, and one minute he would be at the House of Parliament, the next minute he'd be at London Bridge, and there was no sense of distance between them. Super villains at Heathrow. It didn't really work. I mean, you will almost accept the parkour approach of Spider-Man jumping across buildings in Manhattan. You can't do it in Battersea. You know, there aren't enough tall buildings. It just doesn't work. Our police don't have guns, generally. So you can't have these over-the-top villains. The thing about Captain Britain was his origin, even under the Americans, came through Merlin. By an amazing coincidence, 20 years earlier, they'd created a character called the Black Knight, whose origin came through Merlin. And I thought, well, let's put the two of them together, and instead of having a guy on a flying horse with a lance and a sword trying to stop villains in Manhattan, which is just a ludicrous concept, you know, let's set it in Cornwall. Because that is the home, arguably, of Arthurian legend. So we can get away with having demons and mystic beings and evil stuff going on in Cornwall far better than they can with characters like Captain Britain at Heathrow or the Black Knight in Manhattan. And it was a great success, because what we did was we tapped into this great mythology that Britain has. We didn't need to use American contemporary spandex.